Welcome, one and all. Backlash was last night. Let's not waste words in the intro. I'm the dispatcher and I have to make these videos shorter, so we'll jump right into it. Hot take number one. Poor Chad Patton. He gets knocked down twice, and okay, the first one didn't look so bad, but the second one he went headfirst into the steel steps. Chad was down and out. He was on the ground for 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Somebody get a doctor over here. Chad went headfirst into the steps, Michael Cole says immediately. No one comes. For the longest time. Now I know Michael Cole and Chad Patton are close because he refers to him on a first-name basis constantly, but even Cole seems to ignore poor Chad as he lay there helplessly. And then the cruelest insult, when second referee Eddie Orango gets the belt bounced off his face, as Cole put it. Nick Aldis is sliding into the ring, followed by a gang of officials later identified by Barrett as producers and executives, arriving within 13 seconds. I know this because the audience was counting. And still, no one checks on poor Chad, but they're concerned to death over every official's favorite referee, Eddie Orango. Finally, after they've all been dispatched, the match ends when Patton heroically crawls his way back into the ring and with his final last ounce of strength counts to 3. And what did the audience do? Did they celebrate Chad's bravery and guts or show appreciation for his fortitude in finishing what he started? Of course not. In fact, I thought I saw a young couple in the front row wearing matching Randy Orton t-shirts, giving Chad matching middle fingers as he rolled in agony under the bottom corner turnbuckle. Hot take number 2. Let's acknowledge Michael Cole. His work last night was outstanding. An example of above and beyond if there ever was one. He's given so much over so many years to the WWE, and in my eyes is the only WWE commentator to earn the same degree of respect as Gorilla Monsoon, and that's saying a lot. He was great on the mic during the Cena match. He held Barrett in check nicely for most of the night, and his performance during the Gunther match was remarkable. He nearly got away with that Bobby the Brain leg pull from the apron too. He executed it perfectly. That he could regroup after that fight and still have 110% left for the Cena-Orton match just goes to show what an amazing pro he is. A lot of people will be congratulating Pat McAfee today, and it's well deserved. But I'll give my hats off to Michael Cole. Hot take number 3. Overall, Backlash was a good show and exceeded my expectations, which admittedly WWE consistently does when my expectations are low. I'm still worried about the babyfaces though, and would like to see them acting more valiantly. Triple H's creative seems to favor an impenetrable mystique for top heels and justifiable motivations. I'd like to see more of that on the babyface side, plus a bit more heart and courage and defiance. Basically, what Pat McAfee did last night, but a cool wrestler doing it instead. Speaking of cool, Fatu needs to turn face all gas, no brakes immediately, and not change his style one bit. LA Knight is still awesome and deserves more flowers. All 4 wrestlers in that fatal 4-way could play face, and each one would be great in their own way. I hope Drew McIntyre didn't hit his head on the floor too hard. Hot take number 4. Great job by Lyra Valkyria last night defending her title from Becky Lynch. I was sure Lyra was going to get squashed and buried, and worse, worried that Becky would get the cheers. Instead, Lyra held her own in a solid match and came away with the win, and as a bonus, still the sympathetic character. Lyra is quickly becoming one of my favorite wrestlers on the roster, and I think many others are starting to take notice that she has tremendous upside and her in-ring work is amazing. Glad to see her holding on to the Intercontinental title, even if it's just for a little while longer. Hot take number 5. Alexa Bliss returned on Friday night and she looked great, but I think that spells bad news for Zelina Vega. Bliss was sharp in the ring and easily outshined Vega, but more interesting was that she was presented as a friend of Zelina's. Really? And not a whisper about the Wyatt Six, though Sister Abigail was the finishing move. Then later, a brief meeting with Charlotte Flair and the suggestion that they might have a common interest. Eyebrow raising for sure. But what of Zelina, the U.S. champion, who seems clearly outclassed by Bliss and Chelsea Green, even Piper, not to mention Charlotte, Becky, Lyra, and Bayley? I feel bad for saying it, but Zelina compares favorably to Michin, BFAB, and Candice LeRae, and that's about it. As for the US Championship, you can't spell vague and transitional without Zelina Vega. Hot take number 6. It's an interesting choice to leave Jey Uso off the Backlash card, and a curious move to have his rival, the Dipstick, do an off-air run-in after Raw ended. But there's another story making the rounds about the Dipstick, and though no one has said that the two events are related, I can't help but wonder. Last week, Dipstick issued a public apology to Steve Austin for disclosing details of a private business consultation. There are a few rules of etiquette in the freelance independent contractor industry, and in wrestling, the most important rule is protect the business. You can shoot on other wrestlers and situations and break kayfabe all you like, but generally you don't step on the toes of those who came before you, and you never talk about what somebody would or wouldn't be willing to do for a specific amount of money. And that's exactly what Dipstick did to Stone Cold when he revealed that Austin turned down $1 million to wear a Prime bottle costume. For wrestlers, what they will do and for how much, that is their business. And the only person who should know the answer to that is the person paying them. It may not seem like a big deal, but Austin is a godfather in the wrestling world, as important as The Undertaker, bigger than Hogan, bigger than Bret Hart, just below Triple H and The Rock. I don't doubt that the situation was explained to poor Dipstick professionally, and that a show of contrition was strongly advised. And in hindsight, keeping him off screen and having his program held back 2 weeks seems like a suitable way of sending a message, and at the same time, a smart way to not rub salt in those rattlesnake's wounds. Hot take number 7. Happy Mother's Day. To anyone who's watching who is a mother, and to WWE superstars Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Candice LeRae, Carmella, Tamina, Trish Stratus, to name just a few, thank you for everything you do. This is my mom. Isn't she lovely? She once defeated the fabulous Mila and Mae Young in a handicap match at the Oshawa Civic Center, but there's no official record of the match ever taking place. She won with a flying crossbody off the top turnbuckle, landing on both opponents and pinning them simultaneously. Fans were unhappy, and afterwards there was a riot outside the building and several police cars were set on fire. Hustle, loyalty, respect. When I think about it, that is what Mom does. This is what Mom teaches you. So thanks, Mom, and thanks to John Cena for raising everybody else's damn kids for the last 25 years. And thanks for being here. Backlash will have to be absorbed quickly because the calendar is busy. Saturday night's main event is just 2 weeks away, and then Money in the Bank is just 2 weeks after that. Better to focus on the future than dwell on the past, but that doesn't mean we can't take our moms out for brunch and be grateful for all they've done. That's what I'm going to do now. I'm the dispatcher, you're on the top turnbuckle, and every day is a sunset flip.